Let's talk about the Ether 1 and their project update. 2 days ago, they launched an update with basically what's called version 2.1 in their Phoenix update. They performed some major fixes and they removed old boot nodes and updated with new ones. And they have the full changelog here that we can check out. If you guys want to go through it, of course, it's going to be on their GitHub. I just wanted to bring that up that Etho is doing some more development. So you can find links for that down in the description below. We also have a new listing for Flux on Cadix. And this is a big deal too, because obviously we had the big pump from essentially Flux today, about 33%. And this is through, of course, the Cadena platform. So you have obviously, hence the name Cadix, and you now have Flux here that you can swap. So that's pretty cool as far as support, more support for Flux. And I believe their pump was 33%. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. 17% right now is what it's showing. And there was that pump. I'm not positive that that is just from this particular listing. I couldn't find any other necessary reasons for the pump other than this, though, to be fair. So this is what we're seeing as far as Flux today. We also have a new listing of Neoxa on a mining pool, and that is surprising, to say the least, with the hack that's going on right now. I guess the hack is over, but you still have the confirmation times being very, very long to exchanges, over 725. That being said, they are listed now on MinerPool. So if you want to mine Flux to mine Neoxa, to MinerPool, which is previously known, of course, primarily for Flux, you can head on over to neox.minerpool.org, which is linked down below. And you can see here, you even have a solo option for Neoxa. So if you're looking for an easy solo option, MinerPool has you covered. And that is pretty good news, I think, overall for the network, because MinerPool is a pretty large pool in comparison for these altcoins that we talk about. Other coins that they have, of course, is Firo, Ravencoin, and Flux. So now let's get into the first big one for today. Zilliqa went down on the 30th of July, or actually the 29th of July. And it's a little interesting. So I haven't done WTF is on Zilliqa. In fact, like, for the most part, I don't know exactly how it functions. On a very high level, I can tell you that if I had to take a guess as to why it went down compared to other proof of work networks, it's due to their functionality of not necessarily mining all the time. So you essentially are mining Ethereum if you're mining Zilliqa, and then you pop over to Zilliqa to solve a block, and then you pop back over. And we're going to get into this article, but it is very technical. So try to stay with me. The TLDR, though, is that Zilliqa did go down the entire network on the 29th of July. So the Zilliqa network experienced an unplanned outage due to a specific function call, Scylla built-in function, that impacted the mainnet operation on the 29th of July at 2259 UTC. We identified by analyzing the node logs that the root cause was the built-in Scylla function call ECDSA_recover_PK with an out-of-range parameter. The out-of-range parameter rec_ID was not handled correctly by the integrated OCAML SECP256K1 library, and that caused a segmentation fault. The segmentation fault caused the Scylla server process to terminate on the mining nodes. The Zilliqa process depends on Scylla server process. So the Zilliqa binary stopped processing blocks and the mainnet stopped progressing. And this is kind of where the root cause, I think, exposes maybe a potential issue with Zilliqa. and that is that you have this Zilliqa server that is required. We'll kind of go through that and try to explain it, but the built-in Zilliqa function caused a crash. The Zilliqa function depends on an external library, and that's a cryptographic library. The deployed version of this library resulted in a segmentation fault when one of the parameters was out of range. In this case, the caller used 28 as the rec ID parameter, which led to the outage. The library in question, wrapper libraries, did not check until version 0.4.4.4. There we go. The resid argument is within the bounds, calling the unsafe code, which segmentation faults if given incorrect inputs. The proposed fix is to rebuild the Zilliqa instance again to ensure that it would pick up the latest version 0.4.4 of that library that we're talking about, which was reprogrammed to ensure that it handled the out of range parameter correctly and mitigate this issue of reoccurring. We rebuilt the Zilliqa binaries running on the Zilliqa miners with the latest version of the wrapper library and the dependent Zilliqa binaries to ensure that it would pick up the new Zilliqa version, which is version 0.11.1. This has been tested in their private dev testnet, and they could reproduce the issue before the fix. They say, we shall proceed to deploy the binaries on the mainnet and look to converge the network as quickly as possible. Say, thanks for your patience. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, and thanks for the continued support. So this does bring in, obviously, some questions surrounding the design of the Zilliqa network and maybe some potential vulnerabilities there. Obviously, with it going down, that's going to be an issue. You don't see this necessarily in traditional proof of work blockchains, I think, because you don't have what this specific kind of separate server that's set up, right? This Zilliqa server, essentially. And I'm kind of curious as far as from an architectural design standpoint from this blockchain as to if that's always required for the miners to process through, and why is there this kind of point of failure here in the first place, as it doesn't sound like your security is fully provided by just like mining and hash rate on the network. Maybe you guys can help me out in chat and explain this. Maybe I'm missing something. I definitely could be. Like I said, I haven't done a deep dive on Zilliqa in the past, so I'm a little bit of a dummy when it comes to exactly what's causing this. But to me, it does seem like a design issue, specifically in relation to the way that blocks are solved on the network. Obviously, they've been a really huge influence on the mining community thanks to your ability to dual mine them through pools like easel.me, or even manually set it up, because you don't have to have only your miners pointed at Zilliqa. You can be mining some ETH or Ergo or ETC, and then you can hop over and solve a block, get a little bit of extra Zilliqa, and kind of boost your profitability in that manner. So that's appreciated, but I'm wondering if that particular design is also, vulnerable to a certain extent. It's not good when you see a proof of work network go down. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.